Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, plus people's reactions to those deaths, as seen at Legacy.com in the first week of November 2021. Actress Jo-Carroll Dennison died October 18, 2021, at her home in Idlewild, California, at the age of 97. She was the oldest surviving Miss America. She won the pageant in 1942. Dennison is also being remembered for her acting career, appearing in movies including Winged Victory and on TV in Dick Tracy and the Abbott and Costello Show. Baseball player Jerry Remy died October 30th, 2021, of lung cancer at the age of 68. He was a second baseman for the Boston Red Sox and California Angels in the 1970s and 80s. Remy is also being remembered for his long second career as a color commentator for the Red Sox, becoming a beloved fan favorite. TV personality Bert Newton died October 30th, 2021, after several years of poor health at the age of 83. He was a legend of Australian TV, co-hosting shows including In Melbourne Tonight, The Don Lane Show, and Good Morning Australia. Newton is being remembered for his long association with the Logies, Australia's awards for TV excellence. He hosted the broadcast a record 19 times. Actress Camille Saviola died October 28, 2021, of heart failure at the age of 71. She was best known for her appearance on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, playing the Bajoran religious leader Kai Opaka. Saviola is also being remembered for a Broadway career, for movies including The Purple Rose of Cairo, and for TV shows such as Entourage. Psychiatrist Dr. Aaron Beck died November 1, 2021, at his home in Philadelphia. He died peacefully at the age of 100. He developed cognitive behavioral therapy, a groundbreaking method of treating depression and other psychiatric disorders. He is being remembered as a pioneer whose work has helped countless people. Beck was a U.S. Army veteran. He served at Valley Forge Army Hospital as Assistant Chief of Neuropsychiatry during the Korean War. Jockey Miguel Mena died October 31, 2021, in Louisville, Kentucky. He died after being struck by a car at the age of 34. A native of Peru, he was a regular jockey at historic Churchill Downs who won 451 races there over 15 years. Mena is being remembered as a kind person as well as a winning jockey. Musician Ronnie Wilson died November 2, 2021, following a stroke at the age of 77. He was a co-founder of the Gap Band, along with his brothers Charlie and Robert Wilson. They were known for hits including You Dropped a Bomb on Me. Wilson is being remembered as a multi-instrumentalist who played flugelhorn, trumpet, and keyboards for the Gap Band, as well as singing backing vocals. Guitarist Pat Martino died November 1, 2021, at his home in Philadelphia. He died of chronic respiratory disorder at the age of 77. He was a jazz musician who had been recording since the 1960s. He received several Grammy nominations and was named Guitarist of the Year by Downbeat magazine in 2004. Martino is being remembered for overcoming amnesia after surgery for seizures. He had to completely relearn how to play the guitar, after which he successfully came back for a long second act of his career. NFL player Tom Matte died November 2, 2021, at his home in Ruxton, Maryland. He died of complications of leukemia at the age of 82. He was a running back for the Baltimore Colts in the 1960s and 70s, a two-time Pro Bowl pick who helped his team win the 1968 NFL championship. Matte is being remembered for his unusual distinction of being instant quarterback when he stepped in for Johnny Unitas for 3 games in 1965. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in New Hampshire have been lowered to honor the memory of Staff Sergeant Jesse Sherrill of the New Hampshire State Police. Flags in Wisconsin have been lowered to honor the memory of North Prairie Fire Department volunteer firefighter Gary E. Berg, who lost his life in the line of duty after contracting COVID-19. Flags in Virginia have been lowered to honor the memory of former Governor Abner Linwood Lynn Holton Jr. and former Virginia delegate Frank Duval Hargrove Sr. Flags in Arkansas have been lowered to honor the memory of Mandeville Assistant Fire Chief Lucas Stevenson. Flags in Arkansas have also been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Navy Fireman First Class Dan Edward Reagan, who was killed in the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. His remains were recently identified, and he will be laid to rest in Arkansas. Flags in Missouri have been lowered to honor the memory of Hospital Corpsman Second Class Bailey J. Tucker, who was killed in the line of duty in a helicopter crash during at-sea training off the coast of California. Flags in Kansas have been lowered to honor the memory of Butler County Patrol Deputy Stephen Evans, who was killed in a car crash while on duty for the city of Burns, and former 3rd District Kansas Congressman Dennis Moore. Flags in Illinois have been lowered to honor the memory of Officer Tyler N. Timmons of the Pontoon Beach Police Department. Flags in Illinois have also been lowered in honor and remembrance of Colin Powell's patriotism, sacrifices, and service to our nation. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered to honor the memory of former Governor Frank L. Farrar. Flags in West Virginia have been lowered to honor the memory of former state delegate Barbara Sims. Flags in Michigan have been lowered to honor the memory of former U.S. Congressman Dale Kildee and U.S. Army Private First Class John A. Shalemba. This week also marks several notable anniversaries. 1 year ago this week, actor Sean Connery died of pneumonia and heart failure at the age of 90. 10 years ago this week, 60 Minutes commentator Andy Rooney died of complications from surgery at the age of 92. 30 years ago this week, actor Fred MacMurray died of pneumonia at the age of 83. 95 years ago this week, sharpshooter Annie Oakley died of pernicious anemia at the age of 66. That same week, 95 years ago, escape artist Harry Houdini died of peritonitis after taking blows to the abdomen at the age of 52. Actor Charles Bronson was born 100 years ago this week. He died in 2003 of respiratory failure and lung cancer at the age of 81. And actor Roy Rogers was born 110 years ago this week. He died in 1998 of congestive heart failure at the age of 86. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news, deaths, and reactions.